Adam Booth, the fight has been made. Everyone wanted it. Haye versus Fury. How do you feel about this?
I'm excited. It's going to be a really, really big event, and there's going to be so much interest in it. The training is going to be hard because I know that David's focused and motivated for this one, so I'm excited about that. And it really is going to be an exciting fight. It's going to be one that you can't blink, don't make a cup of tea, don't get off the sofa, because it's going to be one of those fights.
As Haye's coach, you come here today and you kind of prepare yourself for what you're going to expect Tyson Fury to come out with. Obviously, you've seen him at previous press conferences. You know he's outspoken. Was he a bit more subdued than you thought he might be, or is this how you expected him to come across today?
No, I didn't have any expectations, but I thought he did fantastically well. I thought he came across really well. You know, with Tyson, he's gonna say things that he wants to say, and he doesn't care what people think, and that's great. But the fact that probably more importantly, he showed a bit of his character, and that gets people identifying with him. And as soon as people identify with him, they're going to want to watch the fight. And he's done a fantastic job in promoting himself, as well as Peter Fury, who's done a great job improving him as a fighter.
Peter Fury there, he seemed to be a lot more acknowledging of the fact that David was a two-weight world champion. He sort of appreciated David's skills a bit more so than Tyson sort of let on. So do you feel they're actually not underestimating David? They know exactly how tough the fight is.
I say this. Firstly, it's been a pleasure to deal with Peter Fury putting this fight together. And secondly, I'd have to say that of all the coaches that I've come up against through David Haye and George Groves' career, I've got probably the most respect for Peter Fury. Every time I've listened to him talk about boxing, if you look at his son Hughie Fury and how in the last 6 or 8 months he's improved and developed into a good young professional heavyweight, you know, I've got nothing but respect for Peter. And so, you know, there's not a chance in hell he's going to let Tyson look at this fight the wrong way. No chance.
You know, it must be hard for him to get up to some of these fights sometimes, because he's fought at the very top level against Vladimir Klitschko, and you know, although he didn't work out his way, he did go 12 rounds with Klitschko and he didn't get embarrassed, etc. But to get up for a guy who's relatively still a novice in the pro ranks, with just 20 odd fights, how do you make sure that David's not just thinking he can go in there and blast him out?
If you stand next to a guy who's that much bigger than you, and you know you're going to have to fight him, you can't take him for granted. If the guy was smaller, you would think, all right, you might get a bit complacent knowing that you're that good and you can deal with this guy. Look at the size of the man. You can't. Firstly, you can't ignore the size of the man. And secondly, he's got a lot of attributes that he's developing well. Long arms, big arms. He can whack. He's got a good punch variety. So, nah, he's not. Listen, if you were to overlook him that way, then he would deserve to lose. But he ain't gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
After the Klitschko fight, David had a bit of a break, and then after the Chisora fight, he's had another break. He's dabbled in sort of the celebrity world with being on the I Am Celebrity thing, and he's also talked about his desire to be a movie star. Why has he come back to the fight game? He's obviously made enough money. He's challenged for world titles. He's won world titles. He tested himself against the best in the division. Why come back for a fight like this?
That's what he is. He's a fighter. He might want to be a movie star. He might want to dabble in other things. But at the end of the day, since the age of 10, he's been a fighter, and he knows that that's what he does, and that's his business. So, of course, he's going to keep gravitating back to what he is.
But do you think he feels good about it? Because, I mean, he's made enough money to retire. He doesn't need to put himself in these situations. Do you think there's a void there if he didn't keep fighting?
No, the one thing about David is that he always finds things to fill his day. So, no, there's no void.
How do you envision this fight going? Do you think David's going to go in there looking for the big shot, or are you taking Fury very seriously and you're going to have to, you know, box for a few rounds, find your openings, and then look for like those sniper shots, as David called them? You
can take someone seriously and still go out looking for the big shot. I'm not going to tell you our approach to the fight, because realistically I probably haven't finished formulating it yet. So no, I'm not going to tell you, because I can't, and even if I could, I wouldn't.
Sparring partners, you need someone big, 6'7", 6'8", someone like David Price. You sparred before, those sort of guys. Any idea who you're going to spar with? Helenius maybe?
I've got some ideas.
Can you share those ideas?
I can.
With me?
No.
It's worth a try. Adam Booth, thanks very much. Best of luck.